NFL Week 6 is upon us as the Bears play host to the Vikings at Soldier Field on Sunday. My name is Harrison Graham. On today's show, I'm going to dive into 5 ways the Bears can win this game to improve to 2-4 on the season. Let's take a look at the projected weather for this game, though. Going to be chilly, not cold, but chilly, 55 degrees or so. That's the high, and with it being a noon game, maybe it's 52, 53 at kickoff, but low mid 50s. 40% chance of rain, so, I'm not expecting this to be a Bears 49ers situation last season, for example, but I do think thunderstorms could be a factor. And then I think the biggest factor actually is the wind. Up to 19-mile-per-hour winds in this one. Hopefully that dips down a bit, but, maybe the wind favors Chicago. Who knows? I do think the bad weather in general does help Chicago because the Vikings are struggling to run the football. It's all predicated on Kirk Cousins. And, yeah, Justin Fields in this passing attack has taken off recently, and you have a couple of running back injuries, but I still think Deontay Foreman can carry the load at running back, and this could be a Justin Fields runs the football game. We'll talk more about that as we get into this preview a little bit more. You look at the NFC North right now. It's clear this is a critical game for the Bears. I mean, the Lions are 4-1. Packers at 2-3 are still right there in striking distance. Vikes and Bears both at 1-4. This is an elimination game. The loser of this game has a 0% chance to win the division. Mathematically, that's not actually accurate, but it's accurate in a sense that there's no way the loser of this game catches Detroit. The winner at least has an outside chance because both teams still get to play Detroit twice. So, you win both of those, then you're right back in it. But you got to win this game. That's the bottom line, and not even just for the division. Like if you want to be in the hunt for the wild card. So big game, no doubt about it. Bears got to show up and show out. You guys have been showing up and showing out this week as our Vikings Hate Week subscriber battle has been fun. We're almost at 300 new subs this week. Vikings now just under 240. Let's bury them. If we win the subscriber competition, better chance we're going to win on Sunday. Help us out. Hit the subscribe button. Daily videos here on Chicago Bears Now. We cover you guys 24/7 here on the channel. Okay, how do the Bears win? Well, I think number one, Justin Fields' legs are going to be a big factor if they're going to win, in my opinion. We went over the weather conditions, windy, potentially rainy. I think that plays into the idea that Justin Fields, who has run the ball well this year, but not to the extremes of last year, which combination of reasons for that. One, the passing game's playing better. Two, I think defenses have adjusted a bit. But this just feels like a Fields running game, doesn't it? You're thin at running back. They might be willing to run him more. He might be willing to scramble more due to the weather conditions. You look at Fields rushing by week. I would say he's had 3 good running games. 59 yards week 1, 47 week 3, 57 in week 5. So he's definitely still a threat. I just think teams have tried to take that away more. Like zone read game, they're setting the edge, forcing Fields to hand it off, which he's doing, which is smart. Take the 4 or 5 yard run with the running back. But I think we might see a couple more scrambles this week, and we know at some point a big breakout running game is coming. Whether it's this week, next, whenever, he will rush for 100 yards in a game at some point this season. He just will. He's too good of a runner to not. How many 40, 50-plus yard runs did he break out last year just by being the best athlete on the field? It will happen at some point, and I do think this could be a game where it makes sense. Be willing to run more. It's a big game. The weather could play into that. So keep an eye on that. I think Justin Fields' legs become a big factor in this game, especially if they're going to win it. What do you think? Will Justin Fields rush for a season high in yards this week? Season high, week 1 against the Packers, 59. Last week, 57. So he hasn't scratched 60 yet. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I'm going to say yes. I think he touches 60+, and I think that plays a big role in the Bears' chances. Key number 2, sticking with quarterbacks, you got to pressure Kirk Cousins. These stats, courtesy of Pro Football Focus, you look at his grades against pressure, and that means sometimes blitzes, sometimes just with front fours getting home, which we know that's a struggle for the Bears, so they may have to blitz more. His PFF grades are low against pressure, though. 51 overall, 52 overall pass grade. He fumbles more when he's under duress, which I think more quarterbacks probably do. That's why that grade's all the way down to 26. And his completion percentage is 45.5. When defenders get in his face, and this has been true historically for Cousins, he struggles. He puts the ball in harm's way and gives you a chance to take the football away. You can't give him clean pockets. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when kept clean. His passer rating's well over 100, completion percentage over 70%, I believe. You just can't let him sit back there. Now, it sounds obvious. You're like, well, yeah, when quarterbacks are under pressure, they're obviously going to play worse. Well, believe it or not, Justin Fields' grades and statistics under pressure are actually pretty significantly higher than Kirk Cousins, which would surprise, I think, most people listening out there, watching out there. But that's just been the case. Like Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff's in this category too. When you get constant pressure on them, they can really struggle and fold at times. So I think if you can set that tone early with some blitzes, get in his face, rattle him a bit, you're going to have a chance to take the football away and at least draw some incompletions, which would be very, very good. All right, before we get to our next key in terms of winning this football game, PrizePicks, place to go for daily fantasy sports. Spice up your game day experience with PrizePicks right now. How does PrizePicks work, you ask? Well, here's how. You pick anywhere from 2 to 6 players, and if they will go for more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any given entry. I like these 3 plays this week. Little pick 3 to win 5x my money. I got 20 to win 100 right now. Justin Fields, more than 50.5 rushing yards. I mentioned it earlier. I think this is a running game for him. I think he scratches 50.5. Or that more than that number, I should say. Kirk Cousins, less than on the passing yards, 252.5. He's capable of throwing for 300 or 400. But the Bears secondary is getting a little healthy. The weather conditions appear to be not great. I think the Bears can hold him less than 250. And then DJ Moore, I don't think Fields will have a 300-yard game by any means, but I got to think Moore is going to be involved. So give me more than 59.5 yards. I don't think it'll be 230 like last week, but 60+, I feel good about that. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS when you sign up is going to get you a deposit match up to $100. You put in 50, they'll match you with 50. You put in 100, they will match you with 100. Have fun with PrizePicks today. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, code CLNS. That link and promo code in the description and comments of this video. Okay, number 3. Work through Cole Kmet a bit, which the Bears have done a little bit here the last couple of weeks. But again, if the wind is going to be a factor, and I think it will, at least on some level, windy conditions, that equals more quick and underneath throws in most situations. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to take any shots downfield, but you establish Cole Kmet in the middle of the field, maybe a little bit of Robert Tonyan as well. Get into a rhythm with Fields, get some early completions. That should set up some other things, open up the running game a little bit with those running lanes, and then that's when you take your shots downfield. You look at Kmet the past couple of games. We've talked a lot about DJ Moore, but he's been rock solid too, man. 12 catches on 14 targets, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's been dealing with a bit of a hamstring issue, so keep an eye on that throughout the week, throughout the weekend here, obviously. But I think he's good to go. He's going to play in this game, and I expect him to be full throttle. Now, who's going to have the most receiving yards this week for the Bears? Type DJ if you think it's going to be DJ Moore. Type CK if you think it's going to be Cole Kmet. Or type DM if you're on the Darnell Mooney breakout train here. Let us know. DJ for DJ Moore, CK for Cole Kmet, DM for Darnell Mooney. And by the way, just because I'm saying I'm going to work through Cole Kmet doesn't mean DJ Moore can't lead this team in receiving yards. Okay, a couple more here. Avoid disastrous plays. These games with the Vikings get weird. They just do. It seems like a wonky play decides the game every year. I mean, Amir Smith-Marset last year, you're driving down, just fumbles the ball away on a big completion from Justin Fields. Like, that type of stuff can't happen. Like, unforced errors can't happen. Avoid the big mistakes. The Bears' turnover differential this year is -4. They've got 8 turnovers, 4 takeaways. Got to get more takeaways, can't turn the ball over. Vikings, I mean, they've been brutal in the turnovers this year. -9. They have 12 turnovers on offense and only 3 takeaways. Win the turnover battle. You're going to be in a good position to win this game. The Vikings are going to give you opportunities. They've done it all year. You got to take the football away when they do. And for the Bears offensively, special teams, avoid those disaster plays that have plagued this team at times the past couple of years. And then the last one, the crowd's your friend. I expect Soldier Field to be fired up. They were fired up in Week 3 against Denver, and, the Bears couldn't seal the deal, but I expect that to be the case again. The quarterback's played well the past couple of weeks. I expect a big ovation for him. I think Bears fans feel like, okay, yeah, we're 1-4, but we're coming off a big win for the first time in a while. I haven't won a game at home in a while. If you win this game, you can get back on track a little bit. I think fans are going to be amped. I think it's going to be loud. Use that to your advantage and try to get an early lead and put this team away early. I don't think it'll be that easy, but crowd's on your side, man. Let's go. Go show out in front of them. Predict the score: Bears-Vikings, Soldier Field. This Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 Central Time. We'll be live for a watch party, so don't miss out on that. I'm going to go Bears 27-24. My initial prediction was Bears 31-24, but I'll lower it a bit on the Bears side. The weather conditions are a little dicier than I realized initially, so I'll go 27-24. I think with Justin Jefferson out, the Bears have got to find a way to win this game. This is a big moment for Matt Eberflus, I think. Like, you got to sustain momentum if you're the Bears head coach who's been under fire early on this season. If you can win this game, that will certainly cool things down a bit. And quite frankly, it gets the Bears season back on track, because then Vegas is coming to town, and that's another winnable game. So Bears by 3. Let us know what your score predictions are below. And again, don't forget to join us on Sunday for this one as the Bears host the Vikings at 12 o'clock Central Time. We'll be live at 10:45 a.m. Central Time, getting you ready for kickoff with a full pregame show, and we'll have a live watch party, play-by-play analysis as well. Should be a lot of fun. Bear down. We'll see you then.